So this is day 2. Welcome back. So day 2 is all about filling the spaces between the floor and continuing from there to build the different stages. And this was a lot time consuming because I have to deal with the individual spaces. So I had to use the planer to shave off the excess, and yeah, that's unfortunately I have to do it on individual basis because not all the spaces are equal. So even if I measured and I was cutting, I will still be getting some wrong. So it's about doing it individually, and that is quite time consuming. But the planer did a good job. I've not actually used it that much, but I used it very well this time on this particular project, and it made it a bit easier than trying to cut off, because sometimes I cut and I cut too much. But with the planer, I'm able to do a bit at a time, which made it much easier. So from doing that, I'm also screwing in at the same time and making sure it's secured. I prefer to screw it in just to make sure it's nice and firm, and that also gives the structure some kind of strength. Every screw will give it some strength, so it's important to do this. Working with pallet is all about patience. It's free material, but that means you have to take the measurement, and sometimes it can be a bit time consuming, but that's the beauty of it. It's free, and even if you make a mistake, you didn't buy the materials, apart from the screws. And because I use screws, I can always unscrew and reuse the screw without damaging anything. It's not like nails that, most of the time will break or will not be in the same, you can't use it in the same way. You know what I mean? So this was interesting, and this was really good the way I did it. I'm very happy with the fact that I chose to use the planer on this occasion as compared to using the trying to cut, because it's not really a lot to cut, but it's easier to use the plane than to cut it or try to cut it. All done. All the spaces are filled. So we will continue the building process. Next step is to make the structure. Again, the mistake I made in the first one was that I built the sides before I built the base. but I hope I'm doing it the right way now. You cannot build without foundation, so I'm gonna have to build a foundation now that I finished with the floor. I'm gonna build the sides, the skeleton, before I start putting the planks on it. So I want to explain where we are at the moment. I've done a little bit of juggling here and there. So I'll explain to you what I've done. So first of all, let me come around here. I've got this plank here, which as you can see is loose. That is just to help me to make sure that these solid poles that I've got on, these 3 poles, 1, 2, 3, they are in line. And what I have done as well is I have got this latch here, which is just a piece of wood on all of them, all 3 of them, and also at the edge, to help for this one here to stand firmly to receive the flooring for the next step, next level. So that's what I have done. And then I've screwed into the these little planks that I've made. And so I'm gonna show you in reality what I have just done. So it is solid, but the bottom is not latched onto anything else. I just want to be able to do the divisions, and then I will build whatever is left. So I'm going to show you. So let's go on and install the front bit as well. It's not that solid strong at the moment, but I promise you by the time we finish with the structure, it's going to be nice and strong. And then I can also do 1 or 2 adjustments on it as we go. So this is what I'm going to do. So I just counted the pallets, the floor pallets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th one, and I know exactly where I installed it. So I'm gonna just install it like this, and then I am going to have pre-cut this plank, which is the same measurement as this one. So I am going to just latch it onto there, and install the corner one first. I'm leaving this one free at the moment. As you can see, I want to leave it free at the moment. That's because I want to see how best I can do the bottom bracket without using too much of wood, because this is going to be very heavy. And that's actually it's not the wood per se that I don't want to use. It's actually the fact that I don't want to use, I don't want it to be too heavy. So first of all, I clamped the junctions, and using the pre-cut, and ensuring that they are all aligned to the back support, so that we have a good level, making sure that it's level, and also the distance between them are good enough or equal. And as I showed you, it's just making sure that they are aligned, and makes it easier. So I held it all with clamps first, and then I drilled, and then I screwed into it, to make sure that it's nice and firm. Just so you know, the bottom is not screwed, it's still loose. That's because I am figuring out what to do to firm it up. That will come in the next video, but at the moment is the bottom is loose, and yeah, it went well. Was able to secure all of them, and each screw that you I screw in, makes it firm, and it keep getting firm and firm. It's gonna continue getting firm as we go. Once again, measuring and making sure I have equal distance in between them, to make sure that we're not going to have unlevel floor. Really doesn't matter if it's not level, but I prefer it to be level. And I was doing some measurements. But the reason why I made these planks is what I'm going to explain, so that we will have the boards. If I can find any board, just to demonstrate why. It is so that we can have these guys sitting on top of it right here, and so that we can have as many as possible just lying down there, and then that will be the floor of what we are doing. And as you can see, I've left a latch there so that we can sort of secure it properly. So as you can see, it's like leveled up. By the time we start putting them together, this is going to be nice and firm. So on this stretch, all I was doing was trying to minimize the time, so I was using whole pallets, and I was trimming it so that it fits the space, and it really worked well. I think I used about 2 whole pallets, and the top was almost filled, but I had to make some other changes. But this is how I fracture the pallet and use it in that way. It all works. So this is where we got to on day, is this day 2? Yes, this is day 2, and we've got the bottom done, and we have the top floor. It's not completed, it's not screwed in yet, but we almost have enough planks to cover the top as well, and we will see what's going to happen tomorrow. But this is day number 2, and it's looking solid. It looks solid even though this is the floor stands are not screwed in yet. That's because I want to figure out how I want to do that, and so we will see. I think we have enough planks here, and if we need to break some more planks, we got planks all over the place as well, so we'll be breaking some more planks. I will cover the back once I finish with these. I'm going to do some more of the stands at the top one as well. Then we have a long one to cover the top. I will cover the top, the back, so that we can put it in position, cover the sides, fill these spaces at the side, and then we'll put it in position against the fence, and then we can work at the front. We'll see what we can work out But I think this project is going to be one of my best ones, and I'm looking forward to. I can picture already what it's going to look at the end of it, and I'm quite excited about that. Let's see what day 3 brings. This is Lawman DIY. We'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned.